I'm Ricc Rollins, and this is Going Places. Don't you want to come along? Let's go. Hello and welcome to this edition of Going Places. I hope your morning is amazing. Here's what's coming up on today's show. We'll go scalloping with Lauren Gay. We'll talk with Crispy Hare in part 2 of our conversation about 5 of her favorite places to go in Tampa Bay. And we'll pay tribute to the honeybee since it's National Honeybee Day with a special craft from Karima Henry. All of this and more on this edition of Going Places. And guess what? It starts right now.
Thanks, Rick. I'm really excited to share with you everything I learned on my trip to Crystal River, Florida. Scalloping was such a blast. Crystal River, Florida is known as the gem of the Nature Coast. It is the manatee capital of the world where people come to the spring-fed rivers and bays that offer an abundance of water activities and the chance to swim with our favorite, the Florida manatees. It's also cute and quaint with a very walkable downtown with shops and restaurants, so there's lots to do. We were very excited to be hosted by Crystal River Water Sports and Discover Crystal River for our very first scalloping adventure. We're here with Crystal River Water Sports and we are on our way for our scalloping adventure. The boat ride out is about an hour each way. It's a very scenic ride out to the Gulf of Mexico. You can just take in the sights, and if you're lucky, you might even spot a manatee or two. Mike is the owner of Crystal River Water Sports, and he actually acted as our in-water guide for the trip.
So, scallop, the shape of a scallop is the same as a Shell gas station sign. That's a scallop shell. So, but they're not bright yellow. They're usually going to be brown with algae on top if they're laying flat on the bottom. If they're looking up at you, literally, they have about 46, 48 blue eyes. So each crook of the scallop shell is an eye, top and bottom. So they see movement. They don't like see detail. So if you're going at it from the front with your hand, it's gonna open and close and try and swim away. If you go at it from the hinge side, you can grab it easier. The other advantage is you tend not to get pinched as much. So it's not a hard pinch, but it surprises you.
A fun fact we learned about scallops and those 200 blue eyes is that they actually operate like telescopes using mirrors. The scallops have tiny crystals in those eyes that help them to form their images. It's a really neat fact considering that they have such complex eyesight to be such tiny creatures. The tour company provides everything you're going to need for the day. You get a snorkel mask, the fins, and a bag to collect your scallops in. Other things you'll want to bring are, of course, sun protection and maybe a light snack because you'll be out in the water for about 3 hours.
So when you see a scallop, you want to reach down and grab it from the hinge, and that way it's not going to pinch you. And you place it in your catch bag and, keep it closed and look for the next one.
Mike really makes this sound so easy, right? So now the fun begins. You snorkel above the seagrass beds looking for scallops. It's like an aquatic egg hunt. You may also see sponges, coral, starfish, tons of other fish, and even some crabs. Once you spot that scallop, you have to dive down to the bottom and scoop it up. All right, so here's my haul. I've got 4. Just a lot of work, but it is fun. While this is a fun, family-friendly activity, you definitely need to be a decent swimmer to do this, and you need to be comfortable out in open water. You can't really wear a flotation device because then you can't dive down to get the scallops. This is very hard work, but it is fun. It is really cool. They've got like little eyes and they can see you coming and they see you and they're like, oh, no, you're not gonna eat me. I bet you didn't know scallops could dance. Now we have to learn how to clean them properly.
Once we get it open, you run the knife along the top of the shell. So, assuming you're right-handed, hold it in your left hand with the dark side up. Okay? We're gonna run the spoon along the top of that shell and cut the muscle off of the top shell.
I'll spare you the gory details, but once you get all of the other stuff out of the shell, you'll be left with this perfect muscle. This is the part we eat. This is probably the hardest meal that I have ever had to work for in my life. Okay, I'm gonna try this scallop raw.
You try this one.
Oh, it's actually really good. Honest, I do not clean
tomorrow.
stuff, but
Yep.
I cleaned these
Yeah, you'll
scallops.
vote.
I'm so proud of myself. I got over my fear, and it's really not that bad. Scallops on the boat, once you pull the meat away, and then they put them in a bag and pack them on ice. Now we take them somewhere to be cooked. For dinner, we headed to Cajun Jimmy's Seafood Cellar and Cafe, where they took our scallops from this to this. We had ours grilled. You can also get them blackened or fried, and they were delicious. It's just enough for an appetizer, so of course we had to make sure we had a full meal too. And we had to try these alligator ribs. Amazing. So what do you think, Rick? You ready to get your snorkel and join me next time?
Great piece, Lauren. When we come back, we'll find out what Kristen Hare's favorite places are to go in the Tampa Bay area. As Going Places continues, right after this, stay with us. Hi, it's Ricc Rollins, and I am so excited because Ricardo's has been nominated as one of the top 10 men's stores according to the Creative Loafing Best of the Bay competition. And I need your help. I need your vote. Here's how you do it. Step 1, go to cltampa.com. Once you're there, you'll click through to the Best of the Bay banner. Step 3, you'll locate Goods. You'll click through, and Step 4, you'll find Best Clothing Boutique Men's. Click through to that, and you'll find Ricardo's Menswear. That's where you'll cast your vote, and you're done. Thank you for voting. Now, would you do me one more favor? Tell everybody you know, and even strangers on the street, to vote for Ricardo's Menswear. We look forward to seeing you here at West Shore Plaza in the soon coming day for any of your style needs. And remember, this is where style begins. Take care.
And major flooding threatens cities, towns, and rural homes across the Gulf states. So chances are there will be more storms and floods near here again. And between school, sports, and social lives, chances are you won't be with your kids when it happens. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids has all the educational tools and information to make the conversation easy. When the time comes, chances are they'll feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
Welcome back to this edition of Going Places. As promised, Kristen Hare is back in the house, and we're going to talk about her top 5 favorite things to do in Tampa Bay. She's the author of 101 Things to Do in Tampa Bay Before You Die. It's the Good Bucket List book, and it's in its third edition. You must get a copy. It's a must-have for every resident. It's a must-have for anybody that's coming to the city. Kristen, thanks for joining us again. I appreciate you.
Thanks so much. It's nice to be back.
Okay, so let's talk about those top 5 things. I can't wait to hear your list. So you want to go backwards, or you want to start with number 1? How you want to do it?
Well, I want to preface this, Rick, by saying that people often ask me to pick my favorites, and it's like being asked to pick a favorite child. Like, you're not going to go on the record. So I'm going to tell you 5 amazing things that I love that I do a lot.
Okay, that works.
And we'll
get you in any trouble.
Yes, don't get me in trouble with all these places, but in no particular order.
Okay.
And you know, with the caveat that your favorite things are going to have a lot to do with your favorite kinds of food, or what, you know, whether you like places that are loud or quiet or crowds or solitary. So I try to pick a mix.
Okay.
So but this is one of my favorite restaurants in Tampa Bay, and it has been since we moved here, is the Jerk Hut.
Okay.
So, amazing Jamaican food.
Okay.
And I discovered it for when I, you know, was first commuting from Tampa over to St. Pete to my full-time job at the Pointer Institute. And I would drive by and see this little Jamaican hut. And one day I drove in and saw that they had curry and roti and all of the things that my Guyanese husband loves. And so started picking it up on office days and bringing it home for dinner. It was very popular on those days. So the Jerk Hut is one of my favorite places. Another place that also has a long history in Tampa and is equally charming in a really different way, actually in St. Pete, is the Chataway. Have you ever been to the Chataway?
Oh, I haven't. Now, you see, you got my ears perked up. Okay.
So the Chataway it was an old drive-through and at some point a farmer's market. It's been all kinds of things. It's pink and green. You'll know you're there when you see the pink and green bathtubs filled with plants outside.
Okay.
And it's a hoot because on the outside, it is just like a Florida dive, right? Really good hamburgers and excellent food. They do live music. On the inside, it is a proper British tea room.
What?
And you can book tea with Lady Chataway, the owner, and she will put on like a full tea for you. And inside are portraits and paintings of the queens and princesses, and it's, you know, very British. And so it's like so many things in Tampa Bay, 2 things that shouldn't go together that somehow do really well.
Okay, I can't wait. Now, see, I'm making my list.
Love the Chataway.
Can't wait. Okay, the Chataway. Okay.
Another one that I love, and this is, you know, when we moved here, my family's all in Missouri and my husband's family is all in Guyana. And so we agreed early on that we needed to establish some of our own Florida traditions that our kids would remember growing up. And my favorite one of those is going to the Tampa Theater to see a classic movie at the holidays.
Love it.
But it's really fun anytime. They've been playing these fantastic summer movies right now. If you haven't taken the tour, it's fantastic and fascinating, and you get the history. And we're just really lucky in Tampa Bay to have a movie palace. Most places don't.
Yes, we are.
So we're really lucky to have that.
I went to see Sound of Music there in 3rd grade. And you know why it's one of my favorite memories? It's because my mom got to go with me, and my mom never got to go on our field trips, and she went with me, and that became our favorite movie. Oh my God, I'm about to cry. It became our favorite movie. So it's about creating memories, and that is a great place to do that. I've actually married a couple there, and it was a beautiful wedding. So it does hold special memories. I didn't mean to interrupt, but you made me think about that rose up in me. Okay, and next,
it's just a wonderful place. We took a long time to find our favorite beaches when we first moved here, and I do have a favorite beach, and it's Pass the Grill. However, if we have a little bit extra time, right? Or if we have like a long weekend and can find parking, I really love Anna Maria. And you just can't go wrong there. The beaches are great. The restaurants are great. And it's always fun to go to the Shiny Fish Emporium, this really funky little shop on Pine Avenue. And you paint sand dollars
They have all these gorgeous paints, and then they spray them with glitter, and they put a ribbon on it. So my Christmas tree is covered with glittery sand dollars that my kids have painted over the last 10 years.
I love that.
Really fun.
That is, girl, you got me. Look, I'm gonna have to find some time off so I can actually go some places. Okay. And what's next? I love
The
that.
last one, a good one. The last one is an adventure. So for this third edition, I really wanted to do some road trips and to get a little bit out of the area without spending hours in the car. And so we ended up discovering Apopka, which is near Orlando, and Kings Landing is a fantastic place to go kayaking. The water is so clear. You go upstream halfway and then you turn around and you let it carry you back. And it is just like, we've gone back so many times. And when my kids go kayaking, and they love to go kayaking, the first thing they say is, are we going to Apopka? It is just a really special place. And to be in that cool, clear water is, it's just like, Florida's like no place else on earth. And there's so many ways to experience it. And our springs are one of my favorite.
We are blessed to live in Florida. We really are.
Yeah.
And your book, it reminds us of just how blessed we are. Again, the book is 100 Things to Do in Tampa Bay Before You Die. And these top five, well, not top five of your favorites. Let's make sure we tell it the right way.
Don't get me in trouble.
Really just gave me, I'm serious. I'm like sitting here thinking, when can you take a day off? And when can you do this? Because I need to embrace. The show is called Going Places, and I'm glad that I have you and I have Lauren and I have all the others that are going places, but it's time for me to go some places.
And Rick, I'll tell you what I've been telling people for the last 10 years, and it's something that occurred to me when we first moved here from Missouri, is don't let the tourists have all the fun. We live in the place where the rest of the world vacations, and we should get to enjoy it too.
That is very true. Lauren, Kristen, I have to tell you, I loved having you on. We've been wanting to do this for a moment. I look forward to the next time that you're on. Again, the book, 100 Things You Should Do in Tampa Bay Before You Die. It's the bucket list book, as I like to call it. Where can they find it?
Anywhere books are sold, but I recommend you shop at local bookstores. You can find it at Oxford Exchange in Tampa and Tombolo in St. Pete.
I love that. I love it. I love shopping local. And Kristen, I love you. I can't wait to have you back on again.
This was fun. Thanks, Rick.
Bye now. Thanks a lot, Kristen. Hey, by the way, did you know that today is National Honeybee Day? Well, when we come back, we're paying tribute with Karima Henry and a special craft that you and the kids can do right after this. Stay with us.
Hi, I'm Arlene. Welcome to Coffee Speaks and Tea Talks. What's your coffee saying? Whether in for business or just getting away, let Coffee Speaks and Tea Talks be a part of your day. Life is moving, visible with color, sound, and community. Enjoy a cup of coffee at Coffee Speaks and Tea Talks. Coffee Speaks and Tea Talks. Enjoy life one cup at a time.
Hi, it's Ricc Rollins, and I am so excited because Ricardo's has been nominated as one of the top 10 men's stores according to the Creative Loafing Best of the Bay competition. And I need your help. I need your vote. Here's how you do it. Step 1, go to cltampa.com. Once you're there, you'll click through to the Best of the Bay banner. Step 3, you'll locate goods. You'll click through, and step 4, you'll find Best Clothing Boutique Men's. Click through to that, and you'll find Ricardo's Menswear. That's where you'll cast your vote, and you're done. Thank you for voting. Now, would you do me one more favor? Tell everybody you know, and even strangers on the street, to vote for Ricardo's Menswear. We look forward to seeing you here at West Shore Plaza in the soon coming day for any of your style needs. And remember, this is where style begins. Take care.
Each year, hurricanes and major flooding threaten cities, towns, and rural homes across the Gulf states. So chances are there will be more storms and floods near here again. And between school, sports, and social lives, chances are you won't be with your kids when it happens. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids has all the educational tools and information to make the conversation easy. When the time comes, chances are they'll feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
Welcome back to this edition of Going Places. What's all the buzz about? It's National Honeybee Day, and here to pay tribute with a special craft is Karima Henry. Take it away, Karima.
Hi, I'm Karima, and today on Going Places, we are celebrating National Honeybee Day. So, in honor of that, we are going to make this adorable honeybee craft. So join me.
You will need a paper plate, glue, paintbrush, white and black paper, yellow paint, black marker, and wiggle eyes. First, you'll need to paint the entire paper plate yellow, then set aside to dry. Next, you're going to make the bee stripes using black paper. You can use a paper cutter or scissors to cut the long strips. I already have the paper cutter at home, so it's easier and faster for me to use. The bee stripes should be at least 1 inch wide. You will need to cut at least 3 strips for this project. Now it's time to make the antenna for the bee. You will need to cut 1 long strip of black paper, then fold it together, then cut it in half. Create the wings for the bee by folding the white paper in half. Now it's time to draw half a heart on the white paper, then cut it. If you have smaller children, make sure they are using safety scissors or assist them with this step. Go ahead and open your heart. Use the first heart you made to create the wing as a template for your second wing. Make sure you use the first heart as a template to create your second wing. Trace it on another white paper, then cut it out. Don't forget to help your little ones with this step, especially if you don't have safety scissors. If you want to give your wings a little sparkle, you can add either glitter or sequins, but that's up to you. That step is definitely optional. Create the bee stinger by cutting a small triangle from black paper. You can also look around your home for triangle shapes for this step. Now it's time to assemble your honeybee. Start by gluing those adorable wiggle eyes toward the top of the paper plate. Next, add glue to the back of the bee stripes and glue in place just below the eyes. Make sure to leave a small gap of yellow between the stripes. You can use 2 or you can use all 3 stripes that we cut out. I know some kids like to add a little sparkle to their craft, so this would be a good time to add sequins or glitter glue. Use the scissors to cut off any paper that hangs off the sides of the paper plate. Glue the bee stinger to the back of the paper plate. You can also use tape if it's easier for your child. Now it's time to add the bee's antenna. Use glue to attach the strips of black paper to the back of the paper plate. You can also use tape for this step if it's easier for your child. Finally, let's finish up this adorable honeybee craft. Use glue or tape to attach the 2 wings to either side of the paper plate. Your child can flip the plate over to attach the wings. Once you add the wings, now it's time to use a black marker to draw a smile line just underneath the eyes.
I hope you had a great time creating this adorable honeybee craft with me today.
Welcome back to this edition of Going Places. I'm here with the Arlene Brooks. You know Arlene from Coffee Speaks and Tea Talks, but we're not here to talk about Coffee Speaks and Tea Talks. We're here to talk about Jazz Under the Stars happening tonight. What's going on, Arlene?
We are featuring tonight T Fox and the crew at Jazz Under the Stars at 33501 State Road 54 in Wesley Chapel behind the Trinity Church.
Okay, so who else is going to be there? What else is going on?
Also, we have our Walk of Art as well. We'll have food trucks and doing all of that jive.
Okay, and are we giving away stuff?
Well, yeah.
Okay, you got to come and see. But you know what? We've talked long enough about Jazz Under the Stars. We can show you better than we can tell you. Kick it, Kyle. Well, I hope you enjoyed this edition of Going Places. We look forward to seeing you again soon. Remember, the journey's never the same without you. We want to thank everyone that joined us on today's show. Remember, you can catch encore presentations of Going Places every Saturday and Sunday morning right here on Tampa-based MOR. And you can find us on YouTube and streaming worldwide. Be blessed on the journey. We'll see you next time. Take care.